coffee up too much. So here's a preview, and then we'll go from there.
For your mind and your soul.
Preview of the other one.
And you open your eyes.
And then the I am. So I'm doing this in an evening.
And find that you're actually
just pause for a moment. So I'm doing this in an evening. But we already have 2 people watching. Welcome. This is black screen because it's going to be a meditation, so it'll just be easier for you to focus on. I am doing this when there are others at home, but one's doing gardening, and hopefully the dog will be good, and he's got a raw head he was looking at, so won't be too noisy. So while I'm just quickly finishing up getting my coffee in the other room, which coffee and meditation, they can go together. This is when I usually have it. Yeah, and if you want, okay, to get a drink, and then it's weird to have black screen, I understand, but yeah, and then we'll do it. We'll jump right in and we'll give this a try. I'm kind of new to posting meditations. The one you're going to hear right now, nobody's here right now, hello, is, I'm using it to cover the camera so that, like I say, it's not distracting. The one you're going to hear right now was actually my very first one, and it's 30 minutes into it. Preview, where I've left off.
With perhaps a reminded appreciation.
And something that Michelle had said in one of hers that I just watched made me think of this. And just life in general. Please.
You're grateful for it. You don't think you take it for granted. But maybe we all do a little bit. I'm homeless, sir. He could tell he was. So do you have a partner? Do you live with anybody? Yes. You do? That's great. No? Accept it. But if you do, my God, cherish it. Cherish it always. Again, don't be anxious. Just remember to enjoy and cherish. And make the most of those things. Because again, tomorrow is not promised. You have a house? Wow. Be thankful. You have a warm or cool, if it's summer, dry, or hopefully mostly dry house. It may need a little work. You may be noticing new cracks in the wall or something hanging off of the ceiling that needs to be replaced or a light that needs to be changed or something that needs to be washed or vacuumed. And although life is not about material things, you have some things that bring you comfort. You have accumulated something. You have accumulated things that are meant for you and meant to tell you something. Take your time. And you may look out a window and you may see a neighbor that you have a disgusting or not uplifting connection with. Because they're a neighbor and they live so close, you can see them. You can see them where they're home as soon as you look up your window. There's a window there in your house to enjoy. You can't do anything about what's in view. Or you may find that the area is just too busy.
I'll go home.
For whatever reason. It's great to see,
I've been 5 minutes.
youth out, enjoying nice weather in the outdoors and activity, but it can make it a little hectic. great to see senses of community, but at times maybe it's triggering. At times maybe you don't feel like you have it as well in your life, or need more. And perhaps you feel quite lonely a lot of the time. And perhaps you feel like you want to have a closer family. And perhaps you feel like you are just really bored. And perhaps you feel mixed emotions about these things. So I'm going to invite you to come back into the room that you're in the video that you're on. With you. Maybe they have
Oh,
been. On this.
no, I'm gonna have to put them upstairs.
I want you to know that you can come to this, and it's under an hour. You can come to this anytime you want. Should I do this final step? You can come to this anytime that you need to step out of your current situations and environments and I think it was this one. And we do have someone just tuning in who may think this looks like just any of your other videos, but actually it wasn't. If you've seen any of that, if you haven't seen this before and you're like, but already you're making an assumption. Well, but it totally could have been somebody who's.
Sorry for that. Nobody's here at the moment, but that's good. The reason that you heard that was because that was a preview of an earlier video, so somebody was there, and it was after I lifted the curtain, so to speak. This is also going to be good because there's a lot of bright sun shining in here right now, right in my face. So, yeah. To the point where I actually want to change where I'm sitting. Now, I did not bring the charger down here, but that's okay because it's just before dinner, so it's. Now, you may have, well, nobody's here right now, but anybody who was here or comes afterwards, after the fact, I guess this means I'm not going to preview entertainment ahead of time, but whatever. Unless it's something I'm in, then I know. So maybe I'll just look at one of those. Anywho, basically, I feel like this was already said in a couple of videos, but for those that didn't see it. So that was when the tab, I can try it again. Let me try it again before I blabber about it. And then we'll hop into this. Interesting. Okay, 3 tries. But when I go to recent, it lets me go to the files, but then not open it. And that's just luck of the draw right now. Sometimes it will let me, other times it crashes too easily. I don't think it depends on the track, but it almost looked like it was going to. So we won't be able to have a backing track because I can't play it out of the same as this one without it being distorted, I'm fairly sure. And as far as, and it just, yeah. So if this doesn't work well for you, then you're welcome to check out some of the other ones. One has a backing track. Well, I guess just one has a backing track, but the first one, a vacation for the mind, and it's got green in the image and stuff like that. But I'm gonna do this at least. I'm doing this for me, and if it benefits anybody else, it's great. So that's good. I'd like to hear it. So I won't go too long, but dinner is easy, and maybe I want to play piano better than anything. And I could do backing. I am musical. I did think about that actually. I could do backing tracks with the, but I'm not really a classical guitar player that much, so it would be strumming and rhythm guitar kind of stuff. And as far as the piano, I'm not one for improvising, but I did tell the other owner of the channel that he should try doing one of these sometime. I think he could be good at it. He would at least be able to do the improvised piano. So, which then we're going to do about covers. Yeah, I could, that would remind me of Tom. So, but what I'm going to do, maybe if I'm just sitting far enough away, it's, I don't know, this is actually a pretty nice view of things, just like this, kind of, I think. So, maybe I won't put the cover on. Yeah. So not only is the meditation, just looking for where I put my coffee that I just made. Okay, here. It's just, having one before and probably a bit with dinner. That's my routine. But aside from, well, I've really enjoyed doing these meditations today. And so I thought, yeah, I'll do another one quickly. And so it's not only just a series of meditations in general, but perhaps a series of this particular type of meditation. I mean, for me, from day to day, it might vary. Sorry, speaking of location, put another chair there for guest podcast. For me, from day to day, it might vary, but a lot of days, it might be kind of much the same stuff, which, that means I'd be having to rely on the viewers to provide I am statements. And then if it's something I'd like to imagine I am, or that I hope to someday be, then I will kind of use that inspiration for a little bit of meditational dialogue. And yeah, I'm curious if you do these practices. I will say that I sometimes hear people say, oh, speak about something in your life as if you already have it or whatever. And I was telling someone recently, and anytime I ever hear that, I kind of feel this. It's like when you're doing that, it's often because of something you don't have. And the realist in me is like, yeah, but I don't. But at the same time, I could have a better imagination. I could have we all could utilize our imagination, our creativity more. Or, and what kind of really inspired me to do this video is the fact that, you just get so sick or tired or sick and tired of saying, I'm not, and I wish I was, or maybe I don't want to wish anymore, or whatever it is. But I'm thinking that there's something powerful and healing to the process. I'm thinking of a couple people that I know that passed away within the past few years, both fairly young, and how playful their personalities were, and how they kept, especially the one, kept like a childlike way about them. And even though, yeah, we have to be adults sometimes, uh, it's it's um, it's helpful, especially in hard times. But it's a good way to try and be. Now, he's fine and everything that, but that's Glenn there doing something on the ground. Okay. Um, but yeah, that I didn't think of far as because mostly I do this during the day as far as covering the screen. Uh, you know, in that case. But anywho, so and I may not say it every time, but the I am technique. Were you coming in hoping to play piano, by the way?
No.
Okay.
I'm upstairs and have my dad session.
Oh, you are, eh?
Watching my daughter make her
Okay, and then the rest of your session would be with the next one, I guess, or whatever. If you were making the win. Okay.
Well, if you really want, I could use my cell phone.
Well, well, yes, yeah. Yeah, I'm just settling into this. But and then I have to make dinner. Sorry?
I will want it later to do my.
Of course.
AI
Of course. Blah blah blah. Okay, and don't go to AI. Go to me, because yeah. But you know what? That is a thought I had. Struggling to make it as an actual musician. He's got something pulled up on one of the tabs about AI music. Maybe that's where it's at for me. But I mean, I don't know. That takes away a lot from
It does.
the music thing too. But anyway, back to focusing. Thankfully, nobody's here at the moment, so that wasn't too disrupted. Anywho, so, and I should have thought of some before I started, but that'd be pretty easy. And again, what makes most sense to me right now is to use ones that I kind of relate to. But of course, there's probably many I'm just not thinking of that I might relate to. So do feel free to comment them. So I'll do this for about maybe 15 minutes, and then I'll get cooking. So I guess I'll start with some that I have kind of felt for many, many years now, and it's been stressful. It's So I invite you to close your eyes, and if you desire to, or just relax either way, and see which of these resonate with you. Again, sorry about no background music. You can always put on your own on a different device if you play it on, or maybe the same. No, yeah, and then and let me know how this was for you. And as far as and if there's any of these that you particularly like, and I don't pause long enough, you can. I don't know about well live, but I think so. But also after the fact, as you're watching this, you can pause. Of course, the focused breathing is important. I am creative and talented. Sorry, the first one seemed like an ego boost. It wasn't really intended to be, but maybe it is a little. But appreciate the areas in which your life you are creative and can show your talents. I can see beautiful images and beautiful things in the world and capture them to look back at any time. Photography. I am a rock star. I have lots of people that enjoy my show and tell me it makes them feel good and let loose and have fun. I am a rock star. I'm not sure. I am not sure if I'm inventing this method or if it already exists and I'm just doing a version. I am an owner of a lovely pet who I can cuddle with, who I can hug and talk to. I'm an owner of a lovely pet. I am a good friend. It's also interesting because what I'm noticing, just to say this for a moment here, is that it's also helping me focus on actual things that I am slash have. Oh yeah, you know, and you know, so sticking on that for a moment, I am a good friend. I listen, I empathize. I'm fun and outgoing, but also laid back. I may not always be available, but or maybe I am. But at times, I am lonely. And I know that there are so many people who I could share a laugh with, or and I would want there to be so many people that I could share a laugh with. Um, that I could share some fun with in some way. But I am alone, sometimes lonely, but I'm not alone. That came up in one of the earlier videos today. Feel free to check it out. I'm not alone. There are other people who, let's not compare, let's not say who has it worst, but there are other people who may be in physical pain, who may be struggling with their emotions, struggling with the stresses of life, even if they aren't necessarily a super busy person. I am not alone. Others can relate. There was something else that I was going to tack on to that, but it was almost like an I. Well, yeah, they're all I ams, but it was like an yeah. Anywho, I can't recall it, so that's fine. I am I am proud of where I come from. I am a little hungry. And any of these that resonate, you can repeat them to yourself as well if you like. I don't mean for this to all, I mean, anybody who sees this after the fact, and I think I did title it as a meditation. Well, no, that I'm not just boasting about, maybe the better way to put it would have been, I wish I was, and therefore I am. Learning as we go, folks, sometimes I tell you. I wish I was a driver so that I could more easily go to things throughout the city. I went to this. I'm going to this. I am going to this. I am, in my mind, going to allow myself to try and have these experiences. Need to do that more. Even if I can't actually, so that I don't feel like I'm missing out because of accessibility or cost. I am creating the experiences for myself. So I don't have FOMO, so that I do not feel not included or just unable. I am a good relative, whether you have much living local, close, biological family, or people that are like family. I am, you are a good relative, and any of these others that apply. And it says also, this is also a good idea of something to do, by the way, so that you can kind of check in with yourself as you're doing it. So when I can't think of any more, and some of them did and didn't surprise me, but when you can't think of any more, I think that's a good time to kind of do some wrap up ones and check in. However, if you're still feeling, and sorry if this, I'm still perfecting the art of it, but if but interesting, like as I said in one of the other videos, you know, my very first one I actually think was my best one earlier today, and then I would say the third, and then the second, and maybe now this one, and then the second. Like, you know, like there's no, and I'm not necessarily. I don't really feel like I'm that much in a different headspace. The first one, it could be because it was music. There was music in it, but I don't know. It just. But yeah, at the same time, I also kind of feel like saying, but they're all special in their own way. You know what I mean? Um, Gonna do a couple more. I am anxious about something on the weekend, but also looking forward to a couple things. Just realizing how is it this? Yeah, I am excited to start going to groups, to barbecue, to go to a fancy banquet. What's it? Oh, sorry, the banquet. For summer festivals. But right now, I am a little hungry. And even though I may be a bit picky of an eater and we may not have some things I may wish to have to do tonight's dinner, or I may end up having something I'm a little bored of having that I have often, I am thankful that I have food. I am thankful that I have at least basic cooking skills, and sometimes I get creative. I am again not trying to sound conceited in doing this, but grateful and in some ways, and I hope I only get better and deeper with this, and then maybe I can do some that are solely focused on one particular thing. But like it depends how much, and I might try doing some writing out some ideas ahead of time, see how much I have, and then know whether it's one to tag on with other ones or as its own. I am wanting to find something to watch with dinner. And I'm hearing Glenn come downstairs again. What's up?
Orders arriving shortly. Could you let me know when they're here?
Here, I'm going to give you something just a minute.